Sonny Digital just exposed a major problem with beat selling and with the perception of music production as a whole. And this needs to be talked about way more. This started as somewhat of a joke and then soon became a more serious discussion and then a controversy on social media, of course. And somehow my name got involved. So let me show you what happened. Sonny Digital, the producer behind hit songs like 2 Chainz and Kanye West's birthday song and a bunch of records all over the place from Beyonce, Future, Young Thug. He did Racks. I used to love that song. That Sonny Digital was a victim of Google's AI. I don't know if you've noticed when you search on Google, the first results you get are from Google AI, and it's an attempt to assist your searching. And they reported that a beat from Sonny Digital cost $300. I think it's because he disclosed that the first exclusive beat he sold, or maybe the first beat that became a big record that he sold for $300. And so Google AI just decided to run with that number. Who knows? This is another problem with AI. That's a separate conversation. So after sharing this hilarious AI error, people started talking about production and beat prices, and many people told Sonny Digital directly that $300 for a Sonny Digital beat was still too much. Unfortunately, no, I am not making this up. And then in a plot twist, Sonny Digital actually went live on Twitch. He was selling beats for $300, which is the amount that he sold the beat that became his first hit song for. So let's talk about this, because two things can be true at once. $300 is a lot for some people, for many people actually, but also if you think $300 from a hit-making producer like Sonny Digital is too much, then yes, get out of the music business because you don't respect the music business enough to succeed in it. Shout out to Julian Spade for posting this tweet, because he's speaking to what I'm saying. Of course, people are going to have a problem with this. He says if you think $300 is too much for a beat, and the implication here is not just any beat, a Sonny Digital beat, you do not know the value of the music, but most importantly, you do not know the value of yourself. Think about it. We should think about this, but a lot of us don't think about this. Now, here's where I got involved. I don't know why. Shout out to All Cut Nate. I thought it was just a misunderstanding at first, but then it degraded into some name calling, not me, between him and Sonny Digital, and he was going off. I don't know why. He said to Sonny Digital, your value would be heavily deflated if it wasn't for your skill, technique, and connections. What am I not understanding here? Isn't this what you're supposed to do? Like, isn't that how you increase your value? You build your skill, you build your technique, and you build your connections, and you create social proof like multiple hit songs, which Sonny Digital did. That's why he can charge more for beats. Isn't that kind of... Well, anyway, he brought me up. He said DJ Pain 1 gets tons of... I wouldn't say I have tons of plaques. I have like... The label still owes me a couple, and still sells $50 beats. I guess I don't know why I got brought up. I guess to be a counter example, or like, here's DJ Pain 1. He's got plaques on the wall and his cheap ass is still selling $50 beats. And yeah, I am. I lease beats as well. That's part of my revenue model. But I don't think it should come as a surprise to anybody that I am riding with Sonny Digital on this one. And let me go deeper into this. I speak on producers being flexible with their beat prices all the time. And I'm sure producers at Sonny Digital's level give free beats away all the time. And that's, to artists that they're really working with, projects that they deem worthy of their time and energy. And that's up to them. It's not a public matter. We don't need to know about that. Just because I lease beats for $50 had nothing to do with what he does. And look, as much as I didn't want to be used as an example, maybe it's not a bad thing, because I want to bring this part up. Even when it comes to selling beat leases for $50 or $30 or $15, when I've produced hit songs, number ones, albums that have gone platinum, there are still artists out there that lose their minds because to them, those prices are too high. And to be fair, there are producers who feel the same way. They don't want to charge for beats because they don't think their product is worth anything. Talk about that in a second, but they also don't want to buy VSTs. They think $20 for a drum kit or a sample pack is too much. Speaking of which, if you want 3 of my newest drum kits, I'm giving all 3 away for $29.99. That's 600 sounds. So what I did was this. I make drum loops and percussion loops and hi-hat loops and one-shots and all that so I can use them. And then eventually I compile them into a drum kit. This one I spent a lot of time on. I even added scratch loops, so I recorded original scratches. I said it was 600 sounds, right? That's a lot of freaking sounds. For $29.99, 3 whole kits. That includes samples, that includes loops, that includes a ton of one-shots. All one-shots and drum loops are royalty-free, obviously. Here's an example beat made with my kit. Because it contains drum loops like this. And samples like this. So I really appreciate the support. If you get the kit, thank you so much. I'm putting the link in the description and pinning it as a comment. Back to the conversation. So the real core problem here is this. It's how people perceive the music business and the value of music. Not just my prices on beats, not just Sonny Digital's beat prices. It's deeper than that. If you're in the music business or trying to get into the music business and you believe in your mind and in your heart that investing in your music career is beneath you and that accomplished music collaborators don't deserve to be paid, then you're in the wrong business. You can be a hobbyist, that's fine. I mean, there are beats out there for free or very cheap. You can get packs of beats for very cheap, or you can just rip YouTube beats and record on your computer and just never release the music. You just enjoy doing it, that's fine. But I'll put it like this. If you don't want to pay $10 to see a movie in the theater, then don't expect to become a filmmaker, because cameras and editing software, all that's going to cost you way more. And ultimately, you're going to be creating a product that ends up hopefully in a theater of some sort so that people can purchase a ticket to see it. That's how you'll be making your living. If you don't value the product that you're going to be living off of in the future enough to pay for it or enough to even see it as valuable, then you've already fucked yourself over mentally up here. And that's what Sonny Digital is saying. And I stand on that. I've been saying this for years. When you're in the music business and you respect your peers enough to pay them or split revenue with them, that shows you respect yourself enough to be paid for doing this, because you're all in the same ecosystem. You're all performing the same tasks. If that still isn't making sense to you, it will in time, hopefully, because you'll get there with experience. But like, if an artist becomes a big artist at some point and their show fees go up and then they're getting offered, let's say $5K a show, are they going to turn that down? I mean, $5,000 is significantly more than $300 for a beat. And a show isn't even a piece of intellectual property. A beat is. A beat has infinite potential. Let's go into that, because I think this is also the other major problem with this mentality. Recording artists and producers, to an extent, don't understand how to exploit their intellectual property to make a living off of their music. Most people just think in terms of streaming or playing shows. Those are the only two ways to make money off of music, right? So then they get frustrated. They take it out on producers. They don't know about micro syncs. They don't know about sync licensing. They don't know about sound exchange royalties or the MLC. They don't know about building a community around their music brand and monetizing that through maybe a subscription service or a Patreon style subscription service. They don't know how many different royalty streams a single song can actually generate. And trust me selling a beat for $50, leasing a beat for $50 or even less, because my lowest lease is like $25. That doesn't stop this mentality. You would think it would, but it doesn't. My DMs are crazy. I was trying to give someone a deal. This was back when I was doing a buy one, get five deal. So I was trying to give this dude, as you can see, a buy one, get five deal because he liked one of my beats. I was like, cool, pick five more and I'll give you all of that. That deal has ended. That was just like a flash sale. But he says, look, I'm low with money, even though he's from Europe and the euro is stronger than the dollar. He says, I'm different too. If you want to collab, perfect. I have no money just right now. I guess he thinks he's giving me a great value proposition, and I get messages like these all the time. The man doesn't even have a complete Instagram profile. Just because he doesn't have money, does he have the right to waste my time when I'm a professional? This is my job. This is how I buy food. This is how I pay my electricity bill, my light bill. This is how I pay for my internet. A lot of people think that's perfectly fine for him to waste my time. It's all about perspective. And it's not just me. I mean, Boy 50 is a bigger online producer. He's definitely sold more beats online than I have, and he posts some wild screenshots because his DMs are insanely toxic as well. Been a fan of your beats for the longest. That's a lie. He's shocked that beats actually cost money. Yeah, I ain't about that. Okay, bitch. If you actually were a fan of this guy for years and you love his music so much, number one, you would know that he sells beats and does this for a living, and number two, you would respect him enough to not talk to him like that. And let's just be brutally honest here. Do people like this have a good chance of succeeding in the music business with that attitude? Because it's not going to be about his talent. It's going to be about his mentality. I'm not disrespecting him as a human being, but the attitude, the sense of entitlement, the disrespect, the lying, and he probably doesn't even think he's being disrespectful because he lacks perspective. Because in his world, everything should be free because he can't relate to people who are actually doing this as a job. He and the other folks that are asking for free beats would never let their boss say, you know what, can you just work this week for free? I got you next month, but right now, like, I don't really see the value in what you're doing this week. Is that cool? They would never say yes. They would find a different job. But those same people would ask us to work for free, to make beats for free for them because they don't see what we do as a real career. And yet they themselves want music careers. They don't see me as a producer making music for a living as a real career, but they want to make music for a living as their real careers. This is what Sonny Digital is talking about. This mindset is self-sabotage. It's not logical. It's not rational. If you can't respect what other people are doing when they're doing what you claim you want to be doing, guess what? You don't respect yourself. If you don't respect someone else making money off of music, but you want to make money off of music, you don't respect your own future aspirations and goals. It can get real ugly out here. Look at this. I'm glad he starts by saying, I mean no disrespect, because otherwise this would have been a very disrespectful statement. The beat isn't worth paying much for because it's the smallest, simplest thing about a record. Artists hold the power. Producers have no power. So I'm glad that after he told me that my product was worthless and that my skill and what I've dedicated my life to was worthless, that he let me know that it wasn't about disrespect, because otherwise I maybe would have felt a little offended by that. But we're cool now. Luckily, most rappers don't think like this. They really don't. But unfortunately, many do. And even out of the ones who do value producers and the beats that they make, very few know how the music business really functions, which is based on intellectual property and exploiting intellectual property, selling it, licensing it. And they need to figure out how to make that work for them. So I'm going to end on these suggestions, and they're nothing new. I mean, there are a lot of resources out there. So one resource is just the internet. The internet's full of stuff. It's hard to tell what's authoritative and what's not. I think this is a good starting point. Songtrust has, back in the day, they had a free music publishing guide, which really explained intellectual property. But this BeatStars publishing website, and this chart that I always shows an infographic that includes not just the underlying composition side, which is what a publisher deals with, but it shows, the totality of a song, 2 copyrights to a song. This is just intellectual property. It shows you all of the different revenue streams from a singular piece of intellectual property, i.e. a song. And then there's a free guide to music publishing. You can download it there. But also the Donald Passman book. Get it at a library. Buy it online. They're on their 11th edition. Well, the 10th edition is on eBay for only $10, so I'm sure you could find the 11th edition somewhere. If this is the business that you want to get into, this is a career. This isn't just like a quick way to get money and then you get out of music business. Maybe for like the 0.001% of people who have a hit song and then they can retire off that. But for the rest of us, this is a lifelong career. This is a major commitment. So it's worth learning about. And the more you learn and the more you know what you're doing and the more you apply real strategy and knowledge based on fact to your goals, the more likely you are to succeed in this space. So I hope that helps. I hope if you're a rapper watching this, you got your $300 Sonny Digital beats, because I doubt he's going to do that again. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much.